Operation Trumpet Call really is calling the church to be the solution, to be the answer, to be the salt, to be the light, to be the truth, to be the way to the rest of Zimbabwe. And so we have tried everything else. We have tried politics, we have tried IMF, we have tried solutions from everywhere. But clearly, God has an answer for our situation.
There are three elements to Operation Trumpet Call: a call to God, a call to unity, and a call to help the poor. That third element, we will use a proven method based on godly principles called Foundations for Farming, which has been proved over the years using zero tillage to be easy to operate, easy to learn, and very productive. The goal was to train church leaders who would go back into the community. They would train farmers. We would have 10,000 farmers being trained who, on the average family size, would mean that we would have 50,000 people being fed this year. We actually have a vision to see 5 million people fed over 5 years. That's virtually every rural family in Zimbabwe.
Undoubtedly, we believe that the church is the answer, and the church has a mandate to demonstrate God's way on the earth. Primarily flowing from that would be reconciliation and the unity in a nation that is so vital for it to progress.
Every sector and section of the Christian community has a part to play on this wall. We are calling out across denominations and across racial divides or backgrounds or whatever. We are saying we need to do this together. We need to be the model of what a reconciled nation looks like, or what a united nation looks like, or what a productive nation looks like, or what a nation that is seeking God will look like.
Furthermore, the church can demonstrate in very tangible ways this year, in 2010 and into 2011, how the church, aside from any other political or economic help, can bring answers to food on the table and education in homes, and these kind of practical responses.
Isaiah 58 talks about how we should spend ourselves on behalf of the poor and how we should share our food with the hungry. That's clear biblical direction to prioritize the poor in all that we do. And when we move into communities and when we lift up the broken, when we give people dignity, when we empower people, that's the church in action. The gospel is empowering, the gospel is uplifting, and that's the message that the church carries.
I think it's important that the church readdresses itself to where the society is. It must be a relevant church.
So as we move out and we interact with the food problem, as we interact with the unemployment problem, as we interact with the economics of this nation, then we're being all that we should be.
How we do it, I think for me, Foundations for Farming is a very important part of addressing that thing, because what it does, it combines two things. It combines a heart transformation, a spiritual transformation, with a practical application.
The message is that if the heart of Africa changes, the face of Africa can change. We're not just about changing our behavior, we're about changing what we believe in the core of our beings. Doing things on time, at the very highest of standards, without wastage, and with joy in our hearts.
I think that Foundations for Farming does bring dignity to people. I think that it is certainly empowering, and it takes someone who cannot feed themselves into a position where they're able to first of all feed themselves, but not just that, but they're able to look after their children, they're able to access health care.
So Operation Trumpet Call to me is very important at this particular transitional moment of Zimbabwe, where every model almost has failed. But there's one model we haven't done, and we haven't tested, and that's God's model.
We've seen awesome unity amongst believers and activation on behalf of the poor that I believe is going to cascade through to September 2010, where we're hoping to gather hundreds of thousands of Christians in combined churches meetings around the nation. There will be a global aspect to that as we are launching a prayer chain where people from the Far East wake up in the morning in prayer and fasting for our nation, and as the sun breaks into dawn around the world, that people, nations will wake up and be praying for us on that day. I would love to ask you to stand with us in prayer, to cry out to God, to have His way and to be glorified in our days.